It's obvious where some greenhouse gases come from. But there's another vast source of carbon dioxide and methane that might surprise you. Freshwater lakes and rivers.
So we're going to put this very sophisticated looking bucket
Yes, I love it, yeah.
onto the river here. And what it's going to do is it's going to trap carbon dioxide and methane as it comes off the river, trying to escape to the atmosphere.
As leaves and plant litter fall into the water, they're eaten by tiny microbes, bacteria and fungi, and they give off methane and carbon dioxide. The bucket might be basic, but it's connected to a sophisticated laser which measures the gases. Looking through your cracked screen, but these spikes...
That's why we need more funding, Richard.
So that's methane, that's CO2, and you can see you put the bucket on the water and they both jump
up, exactly.
I think it will surprise people that like fresh water, like lakes, are a source of greenhouse gases. I mean, how much is in them?
Exactly, and it will, because in terms of the global land cover, fresh waters only cover about 4% of the planet. But if we look at methane, for example, up to 16% of all natural methane emissions can come from fresh waters. So we can say those fresh waters are disproportionately important in the global carbon cycle.
Little experiment to illustrate the point. Take a stick, swish it around in the mud, and a lot of those bubbles coming up are likely to be methane. Fresh water is responsible for around a quarter of the net carbon dioxide and methane going from the Earth's surface into the atmosphere, although that could be about to change.
We push it through there, through the filter, and water goes through the other side, and all of the microbes stay on the paper. And then we take that back to the lab and we look at what's there. We know that some microbes produce methane and some of them don't. So as the climate's changing, it might change the microbes that are there, and that can produce different outcomes.
We just have to stop filming while the family comes through. Get a picture?
I think I did. So what Eleanor has in her hands is like a giant flashlight, and based on the type of light that bounces back, we can tell what types of algae are growing.
So algae, like trees, takes the CO2 out.
Exactly.
Andrew's latest research in Canada suggests climate change could double the greenhouse gases coming from fresh water.
Let's take forests, for example. Under a warmer climate, forests might be producing more leaves. There's more dead plant material to fall in the water to feed the microbes, the bacteria and the fungi that are producing these greenhouse gases.
They can now use that knowledge to find natural solutions, maybe different types of trees or algae which can trap some of the greenhouse gases. As for our CAM readings, methane levels are relatively low and carbon dioxide was about average. That means 750 metres of the river emits about the same amount of CO2 a day as getting into your car and driving the 60-odd miles to London. Richard Westcott, BBC News, by the River Cam in Cambridge.